Extinction is nothing new to the Earth. In the last 450 million years, at least 5 known mass extinctions have taken place, in which many species have disappeared in a relatively short period of geological time. It is estimated that of all the species that have ever lived on Earth, 90% have become extinct. The dramatic loss of species had many causes. The End-Ordovian mass extinction, which happened around 443 million years ago, was the first large-scale extinction event. It wiped out between 60 to 70% of all species, which were primarily ocean dwellers. A severe drop in global temperature caused sea levels to drop by up to 100 meters. In turn, changes in biological responsive oxygen and carbon isotopes caused a lack of adequate oxygen, which made it difficult for many species to survive. Hence, for the first time in Earth's history, a species has the capability to wipe itself out by its own means. We continue to pollute the planet, which is speeding up climate change, which in turn makes farming harder to produce an adequate amount of crops each year to feed the ever-growing population. This potential mass famine would result in a hunger pandemic that could spur a massive reduction in human numbers. Greenhouse gases create an insulating layer around the Earth, disallowing an ever-increasing amount of heat to escape, therefore causing global temperatures to rise, affecting the normal migration of animals, flora production, and sporadic weather. Our unquenchable need to implement our respective countries' agendas has led us on the pursuit of more and more destructive potential. When the American theoretical physicist Dr. Oppenheimer created nuclear weaponry, he understood the far-reaching consequences of a weapon with that much power. The only 2 nukes that have been dropped as part of a war effort was during World War II by America onto Japan. The bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, was dropped onto Hiroshima, killing an estimated 140,000. Afterwards, another bomb, nicknamed Fat Man, was dropped onto Nagasaki, killing an estimated 74,000. Never before has such loss of life been inflicted with such little effort. There is a phenomenon known as nuclear winter, where the nuclear debris after an explosion would envelop the Earth, blotting out the sun. Temperatures would plummet, and crops would perish from lack of sunlight. Even if you didn't find yourself in the blast radius and weren't initially killed, very few, if any, would be able to survive a nuclear winter. It is estimated that in order to achieve a nuclear winter, only 100 nuclear weapons would have to be detonated. At current, the global supply of nuclear weapons stands close to 15,000, well above the limit that would ensure annihilation. It is very hard to imagine how fragile the longevity of our species can be. We root ourselves in our stories and our meaning for life as being the custodians of the planet and one day the universe. We ignorantly dig up fossils of creatures that were at the peak of their evolutionary tree and were stewards of our planet, not understanding that even if time had verified our apex status, we have the potential to meet a similar fate. What if we branched out? If we were a multi-planetary species? If one planet were to fall, we would have one, if not several planets to host us. Elon Musk, a pioneer in space travel, is edging closer to his goal of establishing a human population on our neighboring planet Mars. Elon was giving a speech on his company SpaceX. He was quoted as saying, "If we can be one of the companies that make it possible for humans to become a multi-planetary species, that would be the Holy Grail. We're making progress towards a greater philosophical goal while building a sound business." The inevitability of becoming a multi-planetary species would indeed promote the longevity of our race, but it would not guarantee it. With the settlement of humans upon the red planet, settle ideals, faiths, and ideas. If an explorer were to run deep into the jungle thicket after being bitten by a deadly snake, he has avoided the danger of the snake, but he fails to realize that the venom is already coursing through his veins. I mean to say, we would decrease the likelihood of planetary disaster being our downfall if we called more than one planet home, but if we do not have cohesion amongst ourselves, no number of planets can stop us from destroying each other from the inside. As ease of life sets in, technology absorbs more and more of humans' responsibilities, and we become more vegetative. Our purpose becomes more evasive. We cling on to the validity of views more savagely, our energy not being expended towards global threats that were commonplace throughout the majority of human history. At least in the Western world, no major food shortages, no major wars or global crises have been felt for decades. Self-entitlement thrives, and neighbors become enemies based on contrasting thoughts. Just because your ideology seems watertight to you doesn't mean someone else will view it that way. That doesn't make them automatically wrong. Rather than to seek to mold their views, seek to find common ground. Though unlikely that we are, as far as we know, we are the only intelligent and conscious beings in the universe. Escaping the confines of Earth, you are confronted with a nauseating realization at how vast the abyss of space is. Us living on Earth as we are is the equivalent of someone stranded out to sea with no lifeguard watching. If we irreversibly destroy the planet or each other through whatever means, no one is coming to save us. We only have one chance. Hence, nothing lasts forever. It may sadden some to hear that one day the last human will take their final breath, whether that be on Earth in the coming centuries or in some far depth of space after eons. It seems to me that we live at the most interesting time in human history, maybe even Earth's. We stand at the crossroads. We either spill rivers of blood so those who point us to wars and arguments can gain a fraction of power over a fraction of land on a speck in a river of darkness, dying devoted to a country, culture, or religion that we decided had to divide us. Or we put aside generation-long grievances and look towards the bigger picture, thriving together.